Almighty God, you have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us use them wisely in the service to our town government. We ask this in thy holy name. Salute the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank everyone for coming. Anyone in the public who would like to address the board?
Yes, I would. I'm seeking an adjustment in the town water bills on both 1660 Ridge Road and 1674 Ridge Road. 1674 was estimated, and as far as I can tell, the meter on my pole does malfunction. The water bills are astronomically high. Nobody was even living in either residence until 1674, until May of this year. And I haven't been in that office trailer for over a year. I'm in and out, but there's negligible water use and the water bill's crazy. And they're saying it's going through the meter. You can't use something if everything's shut off. There are no leaks. I looked through everything again. There are no leaks in either trailer. So I don't know where the water's going on 1660, but most definitely 1674 did not use the amount of water we're being billed for. We don't mind paying for what we get. The whole thing was a bit outlandish right from the get-go as far as I'm concerned, but that's neither here nor there. I'm addressing the board and asking that we be relieved somewhat from some pretty high bills. I don't mind paying for what I get, but when you don't use something, you shouldn't have to pay for it. Thank you.
I need a motion to approve the September 9th minutes of our last board meeting.
Make a motion, we pass the minutes of September 9th.
Second that. Is there any questions or concerns about the minutes of September 9th? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We have a letter from our attorney. Maybe Bill, you'd like to speak briefly on that? Just about the road, what you know, the letter we got from the judge that you received.
Oh.
And a follow-up letter from the judge?
Sure, well, it's fully submitted at this point, and we're expecting a decision within 3 or 4 weeks. So, I mean, we're hopeful. I think the community's response was incredible, and I think they really looked at that, especially DOT and its recommendations to the, and I'm pretty certain the administrative law judge looks to and follows the DOT recommendations, which is to keep it open and evaluate it a year from now in terms of what else may be recommended at that point. So I think it's favorable.
I did report at our last board meeting that DOT at that time had recommended to the judge that they were Hayford Road stay open, not close that off to the tracks, and we're hopeful within a month of that letter, and that was a few days ago, so hopefully by the end of October we have some type of resolve here. Okay. The second one was also, that was the letter I'm speaking of, from the judge to Bill remember that for us. Okay. And to acknowledge receipt of your submission of September 25th, it is my hope and intent to submit a recommendation with respect to this matter within the next month. That was written on October 1st, so we do expect something this month. Okay. New York State Teamsters Council Health Insurance Fund. This is an agreement that we've been asked to approve. This is, Jane, you can help me out here if you need to. This is for insurance coverage for non-bargaining union members.
That's correct.
If we go past December 31st, when their contract ends with the union, our contract ends with the union, by passing and signing this, we, the local non-union members, can still participate.
As well as the union members.
Oh, yes, as well as the
Yeah,
union.
they'll still remain, their insurance will remain intact until the contract is signed.
So I would like a motion to approve this. It's got to be submitted by January 1st, the end of the year, only if we do not come to an agreement with the union. If we come to an agreement with the union on their contract, they need not do this. But we do need this in place in case we do need it, so. If I could have a motion to approve, continue our participation with the Teamsters for the non-union employees, I believe there's 5 or 6 of us that take the insurance now.
I'll make a motion that we sign an expiring participation agreement for the agreements.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Is there any questions? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. We have a letter from Clinton County Real Property Office pertaining to the contract that we have in force, I believe, for 3 years now. Pertaining to contract for assessment services. This is for the next year, and it's at the exact same price, $12.50 per parcel. Is there any questions on this? I do need a motion if we can approve.
Make a motion that we accept the contract for assessment services at the same rate that we're currently paying for the 2009 year.
Second.
Is there any questions on this? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And you have your real property tax schedule for October. They're here every Friday, year round, really. This is just the October schedule. The next thing is from the treasurer's office. Please enclose final check in the amount of $5,618. It's a pilot agreement with North Country Pipeline Gas Corporation. It's just for your information only. Money coming in is always nice. We have a letter from the Clinton County Treasurer's Office. Please find an enclosed check of $111,658.16. This check represents the third quarter distribution of the 2008 sales tax revenue in the county, which is up from last year, which is a good sign.
Yeah, it's about $40,000 more than what they had projected.
Okay, thank you. Just for your information. A bright spot, you might say, county sales tax dollars, for sure.
Larry, do you want me to do the training, for the sales tax? Do you want me to wait till?
Give me just a few minutes, I'll get to it.
Okay.
Don't let me forget it.
Yep.
The next thing is a letter from Betty Little. I guess I'll read it. As many of you are aware, the 2008-2009 state budget includes a surcharge of 1% of all purchases off state contract. Please know that I'm adamantly against this new fee and subsequently contacted the Office of General Services to express my displeasure for this decision to pass the unfunded mandates onto local government. Today I learned that the Office of General Services has listened to my concerns and the concerns of local government and has decided to include the surcharge in the vendor contract. More information should be forthcoming, but good news is the surcharge will be included in the bid process and will no longer be assessed directly to the local governments. That's only for our information only, things that we buy on state contract. We have a letter from New York State Controller's Office. Securing local government deposits and temporary investments. Jane, since you're here, would you like to address that? Is just how and where we...
There are certain restrictions on where the town can put their money, okay? And this is just addressing what kind of, there's no like savings accounts or saving in trust company. You cannot put town money in that. It has to be in a certain kind of a bank and almost earmarked that the money is safe. And since this, you know, the stock market, whatever, the FDIC has increased their security up to $250,000. Used to be $100,000 for each account. So we had to get third-party custodial agreements to be sure that the money was safe, because we have quite a bit of money after taxes and so forth. So this apparently is just reiterating that kind of general municipal law, where you can put your money.
The next thing is that we have a letter from the New York State Controller's Office, basically just telling us that the retirement fund is safe and secure.
Well, hopefully, it wasn't that way a couple, 3-4 years ago. But hopefully, our retirement contribution this year has come down probably about $7,000. But we, the town, have to contribute to the retirement system for tier 1, 2, and 3.
I understand that, yeah. They say it's, we have a letter from, trying to get the date on this one. Senior Citizens Council of Clinton County Harvest Dinner, coming up on November 1st, I believe, at the American Legion on Corey Road in Plattsburgh. Tickets are available for $20. That's for your information only. Senior Citizens Clinton County Harvest Dinner. We have a letter from the New York State Department of Transportation pertaining to a hearing that just went by us here 3 or 4 days ago upon some work that's going to be done on Route 9B, I believe it is, in Rouse's Point. Route 2 and Route 11 to the Canadian border in Rouse's Point. This hearing was the 9th, and I understand there was very few people from the area. Strictly information. LaBerge Group sent us a letter to restore New York grants. Pass this on to the grants committee, probably, Craig.
Yep.
Take a look at that. I do not know if we will qualify for any of this, but if you do,
I'll
let
get
us know.
together with Mickey and John Paul.
Okay. You have your dog control officer's activity log for the month of August and part of September. And we got a letter from Endyne Laboratory Service Provider. It's a water testing with the new rates and fees. Strictly for information only. We need to set a public hearing for our annual budget. I would like to set that for our next board meeting, which would be November 11th. Is that a legal holiday in some places?
Veterans Day?
Yes. Do we
Could
normally,
very well be.
do we normally have a board meeting if it falls on the Veterans Day, do you know, in the past?
Can't really say, I don't, we can change it. If you're gonna change it, you should change it tonight
Yes.
to make it, you know. I think we have it off, I'm not really sure. We have Veterans Day, I believe so. Yeah, it's one of our holidays.
Should we change that? What's the thinking of the board?
Change to Wednesday. Change meeting
Let me
to,
check the calendar.
change meeting to Wednesday at 7 and hold the public hearing at 7:15.
We can do that.
I'll wait till Jamie gets back. and I'll
She's
make a
checking the
motion.
calendar, see if anybody's using the building that evening, I'm sure.
November 12th is fine. Probably should change it.
Okay, just seen that, I just thought of it.
Go to Monday?
Because what day is the election? Well, that's the
The
fourth.
4th.
Okay, what would be the best date for most of us? Either a Monday or a Wednesday?
Monday.
Monday would be better.
Oh, that's right, Julie. So,
That's,
Is that
if
acceptable?
that's the only problem, yes. I mean, if it's not a problem with anyone and it helps Julie, it's fine with me.
Monday's fine.
Okay.
Nobody,
We need to put a notice in the paper, Julie. Okay, and the public hearing. I need a motion
that's Monday, November 10th.
to make,
Yes.
to make a motion for the public hearing for the budget. That evening, probably at 7:15, if that would be okay. We need that motion, please.
Make a motion that we set the public hearing for the 2009 budget, November 10th at approximately 7:15.
Okay?
Are you also changing your board meeting time?
Do we need that in a separate motion, Barbara? Probably should. Okay,
I'll make a motion that we change our regular meeting from November 11th to November 10th at 7 PM.
okay, that'll be the first thing we vote on, okay?
Yes.
We're changing the meeting from Tuesday to a Monday, the 11th to the 10th of November. Any questions on that part of it? If not,
I'll second that.
okay, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now the public hearing at 7:15.
Craig made the motion in a second.
That fine?
Second
Oh.
that.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Any questions on the public hearing at 7:15 on the 10th of October, November? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Transfer, Steve, Craig, excuse me.
Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is, I wanna make a motion to increase estimated revenue from sales tax, apply it to appropriations, and the general, town outside B fund, and the general, town outside highway fund DB.
That is a motion?
Yep.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Any questions on this one? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I'd like to make a motion that we transfer from A 9950.9, $15,000, A 1620.2, $20,000, and A 1990.4, $3,000, to A 1620.4, which will equal out at $38,000.
Do we have a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, second transfer, I'd like to make a motion to transfer from A 1990.4, $9,125, to A 1010.4, $500, A 1930.4, $1,000, A 3010.4, $25, A 3310.4, $100, A 8030.4, $5,000, A 9060.8, $2,500, which equals out at $9,125.
I need a second.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And the third and final transfer, I'd like to make a motion, we transfer from B 1990.4, $4,500, to B 8020.4, which equals out at $4,500.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions on this one? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Also, at this time, I'd just like to make a statement that we have been in 2 budget workshops trying to address the services provided to the residents in the town of Champlain. There are 2 factors in the budget that are beyond our control. The first is the cost of fuel, and everybody, I'm sure, is aware of that. The second is the cost of health insurance, which is affecting everybody. That has increased 14%. The highway department plans to pave 2 miles of road in 2009 at the equivalent of what it took to do 3 miles in 2008. The cost of salt has not risen, but the transportation of getting it to the town has increased from $53 per ton to $99 per ton per state contract. The cost of heating this building is 8 gallons per day, or 8 gallons per hour, which that equates to $720 a day. The town board is in the process of acquiring bids to separate the two buildings. Alan is in the process of getting 2 more bids, I understand. There will be 4 bids for us to review as a board. Also, I would like to add that I was looking for a way to have a funds appropriated to the budget for the Champlain Community Park, and at this time, it is not feasible to ask for the funding. However, there's nothing that is stopping us from doing fundraising for this park. So I know that I have spoken to a lot of people saying that I'd like to find money for the community park, but just going through the 2 budget workshops that we've been through, it's not feasible this year, and the whole economy, everybody's feeling it. Thank you.
Okay. We need this budget amendment, sales tax revenue, did you get that one, Frank?
Is that,
On your desk tonight?
You did that.
I already did that, already did that.
The first one you did, okay.
Yep.
Okay. We have the code officer's activity for the month. That was your next thing. We have a letter of resignation. Since 1992, I have served on the First Land Use Committee, and presently the Town Zoning Board. It has been my honor to do so. There comes a time when one needs to step aside and let others contribute to the community. Effectively, January 1st, 2009, I will be resigning from the Town Champlain Zoning Board. I am presently serving on a committee that is reviewing the town zoning law. I would like to continue serving in that committee until the work is completed. Respectfully, Bruce West. Need a motion to accept the resignation with regret.
With regret, I'll make a motion we accept it.
You say no?
We're losing a good man there.
We are.
Regretfully, I'll make the motion that we accept Bruce West's resignation.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Regretfully, yes.
Thank you. Right. We will be sending him a letter.
Do we know who's looking at that position?
I do not. I would assume we'll need another person to be appointed to that board in January, so if anybody's interested in the zoning board, please get in touch with one of us. I do not know that chairman of that board will be appointed from within that body of the zoning board itself. There will be a vacancy for sure. Okay. If anybody's interested in serving on a zoning board, please get with us. Let us know. The next thing on the paper is just one of those, Craig spoke to it, we have 2 estimates for a furnace. We're looking for 2 more quotes, and we will not take any action on this until next month. Hopefully we can get up to 3 or 4 quotes. We've got 2 now. That's to separate the heating system off the garage just for the office building here. Certainly be more effective and efficient to run. We're hopeful on that.
Now, these are just quotes, but it's all gonna be sealed, it's all gonna be sealed bid when
We
go
procure,
out for it.
go ahead, Jane.
No, for this type of situation, they can submit what they want without a sealed bid.
Okay, so we don't.
According to our procurement policy or whatever,
Okay.
it's under a certain amount, so we need, like, I think it's 3 vendors,
And out of control, that's,
that's fine,
okay,
yeah.
good. I just wanted to
Like
make sure
Alan,
we're covering
you got
ourselves.
2 more to cover?
Yeah, I got 2 more coming.
anything under 10,000, I believe we looked it up.
Mhm.
You need 3 quotes. We asked, well, 2 of them, one is, they're both close by, and the other 2 that we're requesting a quote from are also from Champlain, so, we're looking at November's meeting to have some type of resolve to this issue. We do need a furnace
That's right.
to, hopefully by November, we have something in place to bring back to the board. Okay. Alan, superintendent's on highway report.
Well, I just had the furnaces and then that macadam property, the old gravel pit.
Okay, we will talk about that
Yeah.
in executive session.
That's about the only thing I had.
Okay, thank you. I know nothing on the building committee, John Paul or Richard, nothing there. Grants, I know nothing, do you, Craig?
Nothing on the grants besides what you gave me, and I'll get together with John Paul and make it.
Certainly this time of year, I don't believe there's anything on the board that's no deal.
I know as far as, the one thing I will say as far as grants is the shared services conference that Mickey Tatro and I attended at Comfort Inn. Senator Little was there, and after the first of the year, I mean, there's gonna be very, very few things that are going to be available. So the state of New York is really feeling the pinch along with the rest of the country. And that's what we got from that.
Thank you. The highway committee, I know nothing there either, so. We had a all-day visit almost from, our insurance carrier, Neimer.
Neimer.
Did some inspection of the buildings, playground that we own in Perry's Mills, and they came back with a local law pertaining to notification of defects and obstructions on the town highway bridges and sidewalks, okay? And basically what it says, pass this on to Bill, you know what it is, Bill?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
seen that.
Okay. If somebody notifies us of a problem, a pothole in the road, we don't fix it after they notify us, it's pretty got a case, but if we weren't notified, it's a different type of liability. So, our insurance company is recommending that we pass this. Did you all get a chance to read it? Or? It's up to the board.
You have to have a public hearing on the local law.
Yeah, what you could do is tonight would be to set a public
Public
hearing.
hearing for next month.
Okay,
It's local law number 2.
for this year.
Yeah.
November 10th, 7:30? Fair enough?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we set up a public hearing in reference to Nightmare on November 10th, approximately 7:30, following our public hearing on the 2009 budget.
Okay. Julie, would you read that?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
No, you're right. Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Wonderful. We have a thank you letter I asked Julie to read.
Dear Alan, this is a quick letter of thanks for the job that you and your crew did on the reconstruction of the Dubois Road this summer. Although I do not live on this road, we do use it daily for travel, to and from work, as well as riding bikes and walking to relatives and neighbors. After the old iron bridge was replaced with a 2-lane bridge some years ago, traffic on this road increased dramatically. This, coupled with the gas line project, caused this road to deteriorate rapidly. Thanks to your work, this road is not only smoother, it is wider and safer for traffic and pedestrians. This project required you and your crew to work closely with the area homeowners as well as agencies such as New York State Electric and Gas. Thanks to your quick work, the road was only closed for short periods of time and only when necessary. allowing emergency vehicles access to their calls. In closing, I thank you again for a job well done. Chris Tremblay, resident, Town of Champlain.
Thank you, Julie. We have a contract from the, pertaining to, snow and ice removal with, Champlain Convenience Station. This is something we've done for many years. Clinton County landfill agreement between, Champlain, John Champlain. Alan, do you have any input on this, Alan, at all? I mean,
No, the same as it was last year.
looks fine.
Yeah, as long as we leave it.
Okay.
Larry, when, I missed, something on shared services, when,
As soon as I get done, so I'll back you go. I need a motion if it's the desire of the board to enter this agreement for plowing and snowing of the landfill convenience station. Does anybody have a problem with it? I should ask that, I guess. We get paid to do this, $60 an hour for plowing and $60 for sanding.
Is this the same rate that it was last year?
Yes.
Twice a week. Morning before.
Depending on the storm, they seldom have to come back in the same day, but once in a great while, it's a huge snowstorm during the day, but they could be there 10 or 15 minutes, or they could be there much longer, but we get paid a minimum of an hour, I believe. That's more than 10, 15 minutes worth to plow and sand it, but depending on what it is.
everything looks, good there. I'll make a motion that we, pass the Clinton County landfill and, Town of Champlain, agreement for snow removal, during, 2008, 2009 snow season.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any questions on it? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That'll become effective, today or today?
Well, I believe it's a yearly contract,
Yeah.
calendar year. Yes, as far as I know, yes. I think we only get paid once a year, twice a year on that, Alan,
Twice a year.
and we submit bills that pay us. Okay. You got something you want to bring up on that?
Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to, make everybody aware that we had a shared services meeting on, September 16th, due to the, request for proposals, and, the engineering firms that came down, there were four of them, Labarge Group, Mick Lehman, Doug Ferris, and Jim Abdullah, and, in reference to the asset management plan. So we are making progress, and we're starting to move forward here with the, with our, shared services grant that we got. I just wanna make everybody aware of that.
They're gonna be open soon?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, tomorrow night, we'll be, looking at the Village Champlain is where the, meeting is tomorrow night, 4:30.
Okay. We also have a letter from Mr. Farrell's office pertaining to shared service agreements. It's a motor plate contract. Okay. That's for your information. Water and Sewer Committee, Steve, Greg, and Mike.
Hold on, Larry, that letter that Bill just, that has to be like a board resolution to
Yeah, right, to
authorize
approve it.
this, yeah.
To approve that type of agreement.
Okay,
And basically, it just is gonna govern, you know, when Alan shares, equipment or, you know, employees from another municipality. It covers who's liable in the event of an accident, something similar to what a claim was made with the village of Champlain.
To enter into an agreement with other municipalities?
That's right, it's authorizing Alan to do it, as long as they too have adopted a similar
That's
shared
right.
services agreement.
okay. So I need a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the shared services agreement put forth by Mr. Barrow.
Second.
A motion, second. Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The Water and Sewer Committee, back to that one.
We have a meeting tomorrow night, along with the shared services meeting with the village of Champlain regarding the water and sewer agreement and other issues as well. Craig and I are on both the shared services and the water and sewer committee, so we double up the meeting tomorrow night to
Yep.
go over some of that stuff as well.
And I'd also like to just, let you know that, we, did have a meeting last month. We were assured that, these meters are going to be fixed and that estimations are no longer going to be, there's no longer gonna be estimations taken. So, and I was in contact last week with the, Water and Sewer Committee in the village of Champlain. I do apologize, I understand the frustrations of the residents, but Steve and I are, you know, it's just one of those things when you're dealing with two, you know, different governments making things come together, and Steve and I are,
It's understood.
we are trying very hard to get this taken care of.
Several new meters have been ordered. For those that are not working, there's some that we've known that aren't working. They, in the village tells us that, we know that, they're all gonna be replaced. They just, we got update, period, there's no doubt about it. Okay. Landfill committee, John Paul and Steve, I don't know anything. Joey, town clerk's report?
Yeah, there's a resolution that I'd like to see the town board pass. It's so the county or other regional government doesn't take over our local government. They're trying to do away with, tax collectors. It's a resolution that we can send to the senators saying that we would like to have it stay with local government. It's a resolution to support the continuation of tax collection services by local government, the town of Champlain, and oppose mandated changes or transfers of functions that may be proposed by the commission.
And this is a recommendation, I believe, from the Association of Towns.
Yes.
Okay. I need a motion if it's acceptable. Pass a resolution opposing.
Town of Moore's passed it too.
So we're talking about the one at Town of Morris.
Yeah, town of Moore's passed it in September.
I'll make the motion that we oppose.
Do I have a second?
Did you accept the resolution, right?
The
To
motion,
accept the resolution to oppose the,
Right.
the resolution
Yes.
is to oppose. Okay.
And I'll second.
And the Association of Town has been on record as opposing also, so that's where the recommendation comes from. Town of Moore's did it, that's where we got a copy from. So now I have a motion and a second. Is there any questions on this?
What's the logic here on the county's part? I don't understand. Other than
well, what they wanna do is they wanna try to,
Streamline or-
have it all, like, we know what's going on at the county, and they know what's going on here, as far as all being one, but the other municipalities feel that if we do that, it's just the start of them taking over. And they don't really I mean, you won't have any more tax collectors in your municipality, so people won't be able to come to the town and pay their taxes, and it'll be all done at the county. I mean, we service a lot of the people here.
It'll be an inconvenience, especially to your elderly people too.
Well,
So
in
who's-
January, we have a
who's
lot of people
proposing this
walking
then?
off the street.
Who's proposing that this happen?
I don't really, the government is.
They brought this up at the
State-
association.
state
of
government.
towns.
Association
According to
of
that, it's a state
Towns.
commission that was appointed to evaluate that
Okay,
and try to come up with a more streamlined, effective way of collecting taxes.
okay. I understand where Julie's coming from, it's just where is this all
Right.
starting from?
If it did come about, it'd be one less service our local taxpayers would have. The opportunity to walk in locally and pay their taxes instead of going to Plattsburgh or mailing it.
And we'd probably be assessed damn close to the amount that we are now for them to do the same work.
And also the ability to discuss their bill if they have any questions too. So
They have to
that's-
deal right
that's-
with the
Yeah.
county.
That's another good reason for it.
Okay. I do have a motion, and a second on that. Any other questions? The motion is to oppose, okay? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None? Passes, thank you. One-day seminar coming up on November 17th for personnel management and labor relation in Colony. That's for strictly for information. Department of Health, Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, a letter from EFC pertaining to drinking water. This next one, Craig, probably for your committee, again, the Grants Committee. A letter from Charles Schumer pertaining to libraries.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did see that in that package.
Employees Assistance Services. Strictly for information. I don't know that it affects us, does it, Jane, at all? The Employees Assistance Services,
Well, we contract with them to provide us with, well, with drug and alcohol testing, and they also would provide any kind of, we have them for different things for assistance regarding personnel problems and so forth. So we do contract with them,
okay?
EAS.
No change, I mean, there's not offering
No, there's
new
no-
services or anything like that?
No, no.
Clinton County Historian's Office, we got a letter from them pertaining to, pleased to announce the availability of grant money to celebrate the Hudson, Fulton, Champlain quadcentennial. Up to $5,000 grants, right, we'll look at that if you would again.
I think maybe that, send that over to
Uh,
Steve,
Steve,
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
because
just- I was just
Because that's
gonna say
the-
that.
quad
Okay,
centennial.
yeah, fine. I'm pleased to know, this is a letter from the State Controller's Office. There will be 2 seminars in Clinton County, October 16th and 17th, and I've asked Jane to go to these.
That was on last month too. I just got put it again. I intend to attend.
Just a quick motion to approve Jane to go to this.
We approved it last month.
We did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this was in last month. They just got it from me accidentally.
The review of the post audit bills? Any motion to approve?
I make a motion that we pay the post audit bills with the exception
of voucher number 1435 and voucher number 1436.
That's for the bills, right?
Yes.
The bill, okay.
I second that motion.
Any questions?
Did I jump ahead?
Yeah, you did.
It's fine, we can.
You just have to review the post audit anyways, you don't have to approve them.
Okay.
So, you're fine.
They can make that motion,
Steve seconded it. So you're pulling 1435 and 1436.
We are.
Okay. So the motion to pay the monthly bills excluding those two. I have a second to that, Jan? Lou?
Yes, Steve?
Okay. Any questions on the monthly bills? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Make a motion, we pay the post audit bills.
I second that.
Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. You got your cash receipts, documentation? Does anybody else have anything to bring before the board before I go into executive session? If not, I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss contract and negotiations.
I make a motion that we go into the executive session to discuss contracts and negotiations.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.